you're a fan of experimental music and are chronically online, though honestly I feel like those go together. I'm sure you've seen somebody describe their taste as scaring the hoes at least once. And there's the common suspects: Death Grips, JPEGMAFIA, Radiohead. Most artists who are remotely different and loved by music critics often have been dragged into the scaring the hoes music category. And I'm sick and tired of this joke. It's been milked to death. It's misogynistic and it's not even accurate most of the time. However, I think it's an interesting manifestation of how a lot of online music nerd culture is shaped by performative irony. Oh Gabs, it's not that deep. Maybe you're just not willing to look that deep. For that though, here's why I really don't like that phrase. As I said earlier, it's misogynistic. It's not even covert about it. Swap hoes for bros and you'll still keep the same punchline of people being put off by experimental alternative music. However, that phrase assumes that women do not listen to experimental music. It is extremely telling when experimental artists get critiqued. Certain people will resort to saying, "Oh, you just listen to Sabrina Carpenter and Sexy Red then?" Both female-coded artists. It's an extreme strawman. People who are not of all genders can like and dislike experimental music without it reflecting anything quote-unquote bad about their taste. Continuing off that, doesn't the music scare most people? The other run-on-the-ground joke of being banned from the aux or playing experimental music at least has some actual truth to it. From personal experience, I've been clowned on my family for having bad music taste and told to not play bullshit on the Bluetooth. This scaring joke just feels like a reskinned version of the tired women equals bad or boring, men equals good or interesting jokes which have been on the internet forever. I also think this is a reflection on how male dominated a lot of music enthusiast spaces seem to be, or at least appear to be. And I have a few hypotheses as to why that's the case. Nerd spaces tend to be subject to a lot of gatekeeping, whether you're in a club, offline, or online nerd spaces. And in this case, it's more than just music snobbery. People of all genders can be pretentious. However, it is no secret that being a woman online is often extremely shit. You're subject to significantly more harassment and bullying than you otherwise would be. I feel like there's a lot more women who are music nerds that simply do not want to engage with other people online, which gives the illusion of music spaces being more male-dominated, which continues this cycle. I also see women who are into more niche artists like JPEGMAFIA getting weird comments such as, "Oh, she's not real," or "No, this is just performative, isn't it?" The serious / ironic doesn't matter. Reactions to Jenna Ortega liking Death Grips was the perfect example of this. This actually inspired me to make this video. So many people were calling her a fed or saying she was lying. Maybe women just like things? A woman having lesser known interests often gets subject to scrutiny as it challenges a male-centric view of alienation. A lot of music nerd content or culture, which as I said earlier appears very male-centric, seems to be extremely self-deprecating. "Oh, this is my loser music bingos. I can't get a girlfriend. I'm a man and I'm subject to be eternally alone because I love have a nice life." Think about it. My music taste scares the hoes is a more off-putting example of these self-fulfilling jokes. It's why certain music fans who are not into this sort of nerdy music are called chronically offline. It's self-resonation topped sprinkles. And in a way, I get it. It's easy to say you get no girls because of your music taste and laugh about how you're doomed to never find love. You can see somebody making a joke about how they're also esoteric, music taste repels women, and sadly think about how you'll never find a girl you'll be able to share your niche interests with. Harder to reflect on why women don't like you. It takes self-awareness to consider that the way you think about women and the way you talk about them online makes you unappealing to them. Of course, you may think it's just a joke, but there's always a thinly veiled truth to them. I also think that these type of jokes and the way that online music nerds interact with their favorite artists also intersect with this performative irony. A lot of people who make these jokes about their favorite experimental acts often don't really care about the music. They dilute their music and catalog into just being scary or loud and reduce these musicians into entertainers. They often ignore the lyrics and true meanings behind these artists' music. It's okay not to care about music on a deeper level. Perhaps maybe you just think the beats sound good in your ears and don't really have reasons to properly articulate why you like it. That's not the issue I'm talking about here. But don't try to say shit like you don't get it or posture yourself as being different for liking the music if you don't get it either. On this whole performative irony and also dilution of music discourse through these type of memes, I think the lack of concert etiquette everywhere reflects this. People are desperate for attention and to be the funniest person there instead of focusing on enjoying the music. In a post-ironic twist, JPEGMAFIA, the butt of whole scaring jokes, decided 100% feed into this reputation of his with his album Scaring the Hoes. I think that album did a brilliant job in satirizing this section of music nerd culture online. Prior to this album's release, he tweeted, "People who sing Scaring the Hoes are losers." The title track, Scaring the Hoes, seems to play into the stereotype, but if you pay attention, it's a track about how modern day hip-hop rewards catchy and accessible tunes. A lot of tracks are hypersexual as a juxtaposition to the perceived incel-adjacent nature of some sections of his fanbase. Unfortunately, it seems like the satire has flown over people's heads as I see people joking, or maybe not even joking, about how they're gonna play this album to repel women. The other day I was talking to this guy and I said, JPEGMAFIA is my favorite artist. And he said, wow, how's he your favorite artist? He made an album called Scaring the Hoes. You'll be surprised by how many women enjoy and even make experimental music if you expanded your horizons. Experimental alternative music encompasses all genders. There are cool non-conforming weirdos everywhere. And contrary to what some internet memes may lead you to think, your music taste is not repelling women. It is your attitude towards it that is. You can 100% balance having nerdy interests while still having a life. Of course, some people may judge you, but then they're not the people for you. You shouldn't let that sort of rejection lead you to think that women are the issue.